So let's go into your reading here. One of the first two cards that are coming through here is the Six of Cups and the King of Pentacles. So let's talk about this first. The King of Pentacles is an earth sign, and you've been, I feel like this person has shown up a few times now. So the King of Pentacles, this is an earth sign, a male or female, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. This is somebody with a lot of financial wealth, a lot of financial abundance, and they give very, very solid, good advice when it comes to how to make money, how to maintain your financial situation, and how to secure a lot of financial resources. They are somebody who's very resourceful. They give very good advice on the practical front as well. This is somebody coming through with a major offer in store for you, okay? I feel like for a lot of you, this might come in as a job that, like a new job that recently came into the picture. So it might have been, since July. I'm feeling June, July, you might have landed a new job. You might have somebody that is trying to, help you secure a new job. So this could even be a person that is like a headhunter, a middleman that is trying to link you up with, career opportunities or job opportunities and things like that. So I feel that financially, for those of you who are working, you're in a very, very secure work environment. And it is really important for you to understand that, if this work environment is secure, be very diligent about what you're doing. Be very diligent about, making sure all of your responsibilities are taken care of. Okay, so don't rest on your laurels, and especially just make sure that everything is, done properly from your end. Don't cut corners. Okay, it's linked up here with the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups usually indicates to me a card that deals with children. So a lot of you might be working in an environment where you are dealing with children. So I want you to be extra careful, okay? Because I feel like wherever you're working at is a very reputable institution. So whatever the work environment seems like to you, I feel that it's a very well-respected establishment. And I feel that a lot of people place a lot of trust on the institution as well as the people that work there. So I do feel you're in a very good, financial situation right now. And if you are dealing with children, be very careful for this month, okay? What I do sense as well is for a lot of you, you are dealing here with an earth sign that is coming through in order to provide some type of assistance towards you. And I feel that it might be just, good tiding, and as well as, good advice on how to manage things, how to do things a little bit more efficiently. So I feel for some of you, you might have been like overly idealistic in the past, where you are like, it's almost like looking at a situation in a very idealistic manner and hoping for all these things to pan out. And I feel like you have so much on your plate that a lot of the things that you are thinking about starting, you're not really taking the steps to get there. So on the one hand, you're daydreaming about all the potential, especially income generating endeavors, creative skills that you can make money from. And I do feel that they're telling you, there's somebody coming through in order to get these ideas off the ground so that they become a reality. So they're no longer pipe dreams. You have a lot of like restructuring with your ideas that needs to be done, especially if you have creative ideas, arts and crafts and things like that you're hoping to make, you're hoping to sell, you're hoping to like generate income for you. You have somebody coming through in order to give you solid advice as how to partner up with them, or even how to make this, all the things that you have conjured up, how to make them grow for you, how to make them have money come through for you. So I feel like a lot of realism is being imbued into creative projects in order to get, financial backing, financial stability, in order to market them in a way that would appear to the masses. Okay, so you're in a very good position right now. For others of you, I do sense as well that you are dealing with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and this is an energy that has been coming through quite frequently. And I feel that you are dealing with this person. It's like a karmic relationship. I feel it's family. I feel that it could also be, I'm just going to stick with family now because I'm going to go into your love reading in a little bit. I feel like you're dealing with this person, and I feel that there's like, once again, the message is they have been very, very patient, and they're trying their best to, understand where you're coming from. So I feel for some reason there might have been strained communication between you and this earth sign, like you are talking past one another. I feel like there's a lot of affection, there's a lot of devotion, affection and devotion, but I feel that they are kind of like keeping you at arm's length, okay? On the one hand, they're there when you need them, but on the other hand, they're keeping you at arm's length mainly because you two just don't get along. So I feel that coming through. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And I feel like this is somebody that you have, you still have very, very significant ties with. The second cluster here is the Eight of Pentacles, as well as the Fool. The Eight of Pentacles, when I look at this card, it's, especially in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, it's a card about sending out resumes, okay? Like creating multiple copies of the same thing and then sending them out to the universe and hoping something will, catch somebody's eyes, okay? So I traditionally think of this as somebody who is out looking for a job. And what's really interesting though is this is a job offer, but then the sending out resume is coming in, is still coming through. So I feel like a lot of you might have been in a job. There might have been, kind of like another person in that job environment recruiting you, or they are telling you that, there's other opportunities at this other company. So why don't you send out your resume and see what you land? So I feel like a lot of you are in a position where you are looking for new work. You are a little bit worried when it comes to your financial situation. So I feel that you are looking for new work. There might be new family, like new additions to the family. And so you're trying to increase your income generating potential. So you're looking for work that has like, better salary, better perks, better vacation holidays so that you can spend more time to take care of the people that you love. Okay. So I feel like a lot of you are in a position where you're sending out your resumes, you are networking, you are looking at professional contacts and see if there are other opportunities elsewhere. What's linked up with the Eight of Pentacles here is the Fool. And the Fool is a very positive card that indicates like taking risks with new ventures, no longer being, happy or content with the status quo and venturing out, charting new territory, taking a lot of risks and, being hopeful that something else that is better will come through for you. It's a card about grabbing new opportunities when they come through. So I feel on the work front, a lot of you are, or at least were in a situation, it is stable, but you want more out of life. So you are venturing out, looking at new territories when it comes to, landing new work and pursuing new work. I feel like a lot of you might be working like the traditional job where you are working for other people rather than self-employed. With the Aquarius energy, I feel like a lot of them are self-employed. And, it's stable, but I feel as well that a lot of you have many, many creative projects that you're dabbling in on the side is not making as much money for you. You might have counted on it making a lot more money. But I feel that you're more inclined towards like the traditional 9-to-5 working for another person, and you're branching off and trying to find, a new employment opportunities. And there is a little bit of worries here regarding, financial resources. And I feel that it's really important for you to be very conservative for this month when it comes to spending. Okay, just be careful about that. Don't be extravagant with spending. I know that, you have a very, very big heart and the holiday seasons are rolling around. And especially if you have like, children that you love, you want to just pour all your love, all your affection, buying them really expensive gifts. It's not a smart move to do that if you are struggling financially. So I feel that a lot of you might be buying a lot of like expensive items for the people that you love on credit, and you might not have the financial backing in order to do so. Be very, very, very careful. It's a really good month to be a lot more conservative with your spending. Okay, so don't take these, like at the end of our lives, these material things don't really matter. So don't do that. Okay, just spend within your limits, because I feel like a lot of you are going overboard here with the Fool card, and it's sort of like throwing caution to the wind. not heeding your financial situation and spending, like exceeding your credit limit. Just be careful about that. So obviously that's not going to apply to all, but if you have the tendency to, emotionally spend and to shower a lot of trinkets and gifts on the people that you love, especially grandkids and things like that, or even nieces and nephews, but I feel like anybody that you love, you shower a lot of love and items and trinkets. And if you're not in a position where you can afford that, it's foolish to do that. Okay, just be careful, Pisces. What is coming through next here? We have the Five of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. So I want to talk about this first here. This is a card about financial loss, okay? This is a card about like not having a place to come to and feeling a little bit like isolated, feeling a little bit kind of like out in the cold. And as it pertains to your financial situation, I feel a lot of you who are, if you're retired and especially if you're in between job, there are new income generating potential, like, working on a commission base, sales, and things like that that are coming through. They're not stable, but they're temporary jobs that will be very fruitful for you, or at least to, provide a little bit of income coming through for the holiday season so that you're not too financially strapped. Okay. So if you are kind of like on the market for a brand new job, don't stop what you're doing, because I feel like this is a very temporary gig that's going to help you get through the rough times, but it's not going to be 100% stable. It's also not going to be permanent, but it is also there. And especially if you are in a housing situation and you're looking for new houses as well, I do see a shift when it comes to property. You will land a new house. The Ace of Wands usually indicates like new purchase opportunities, especially when it comes to housing. And I do feel this coming through with the Five of Pentacles. If you have a property you're trying to sell and you're eyeing another property, I feel that you're kind of like in suspension because you're trying to liquidate one first before you have the funds to invest in another. And I feel that the house that you are getting rid of, or that you are selling, it might have a lot of sentimental value and you don't want to sell the house. But I feel that it is really important for you, if you need the financial resources to get rid of the house, the price that you're getting, the price that you're asking versus the price that you're getting, there is a little bit of a discrepancy. But if you've had some property that is depreciating in value, it is a really important time to try to liquidate, try to get rid of it, shift yourself into a new house. I do see, something in the northern direction of wherever you are currently dwelling. And I do feel it's going to be a lot more beneficial for you as well. Okay. I see northern and I see, western direction. Is going to be a lot more beneficial for you. Okay, so it's pretty much the end of the line when it comes to financial worries as well. So I do sense that, this month is opening up a period of a lot more, I guess, opportunities coming through, creative opportunities that might be short term, but it's still very good. And you're still consistently sending out resumes in order to land new jobs. So I feel like there's a lot of movement happening with you rather than stagnation, which is good. Okay. What is coming through next here? We have the Four of Pentacles as well as the Ten of Swords. And I was going to pull out a few more cards here for the Ten of Swords just to see what it pertains to. Okay. So let me talk about this Ten of Swords first. The Ten of Swords is a situation that is like done and over with, and it's not coming back together in the way that you'd hope, okay? I feel for a lot of you, you might have hung on to a situation way past its expiration date. For a lot of you, I feel that it is property that might belong to like property that you have sentimental ties with. And you have really hung on to it. You try to do, restoration. You try to fix it up. You try to live in it. But I do feel that it is not something that is that can be retained. And it's way too expensive to retain. So if you're fixing up some type of property because you have sentimental ties to it, they're pretty much telling you to try to relinquish, because I feel like it's more of a burden for you financially and emotionally than it is going to, I don't feel that it's going to, even if you were to fix it up, I feel that the value you're getting for it is not going to be worth the cost of fixing up. So sentimental ties that we have to things and people, These things are good in themselves, but you have to be a little bit more practical and grounded when it comes to where you are investing your energy. I feel a lot of you are maintaining it mainly because of, you know, these emotional ties, these sentimental ties, and you have sentimental values to things and people, and they might not always be good for you. So they're pretty much telling you to reassess, okay? So this is pretty much the end of the line. You need to release a situation. You need to move on with your life, mainly because I feel that these emotional ties are acting like they're kind of like an anchor to the past, and they're weighing you down, and they're not allowing you to move forward in a way where you can, you know, live your life and just be free of these burdens from the past. Okay, so you're going to have to really cut ties here, and I feel a lot of it has to do with property. I pulled out two cards here. We have the Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles, this is, you know, generational, like giving alms, generational wealth as well in this deck. And the Six of Pentacles is a card about generosity. It's a situation where you have one person giving out a lot of themselves to other people. When it shows up in the reverse position, it basically indicates to me you don't have enough of yourself to give. So you need to pull back your energy, and you need to like really make sure that the people and the avenues that you are dumping your love and affection and resources are worth it. Okay, so I feel like a lot of you might be in a situation where you have like children, grandchildren. You're giving them a lot of your financial resources, and they feel like you might be made of money, and they might be taking advantage of this situation. Okay, and you might just like, you know, I feel that generosity is fine. However, it's creating some type of dependencies in the people that you're dealing with, where they're not really taking ownership and accountability for the things that they're doing, mainly because somebody is always there to bail them out. So it can be, you know, if you're in an institution, for example, it can also deal with a situation where it's creating like dependencies in the people that are relying on the generosity, the financial assistance of that situation, and they're not doing anything to better themselves. So I do feel creating like dependencies in a very unhealthy way, as well as creating a lot of like this, cultivating this sense of entitlement where people are not really taking, you know, ownership for their responsibilities for their lives. So that's coming through as well. The Six of Pentacles is traditionally money coming through from an institution. This can be child support. This can also be unemployment, disability, and things like that. When it shows up in the reverse position, it basically means there is some rearrangement, renegotiations when it comes to either child support, disability, as well as unemployment benefits. Okay, so there is a situation where you are going to have to be extra cautious with how you're spending your money, because the money coming through from, you know, that other avenue, from that institutional money, is being diminished or being renegotiated or being cut back somehow. So just be careful about how you are managing your resources. It's also linked up here with the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles basically means a new job. This is kind of like, so if you are getting money, you know, compensation either through the disability or unemployment, I feel there's a new job coming through. And as a result of getting a new job, I don't feel like you are going to need this money anymore. And then for others of you who are getting like, you know, alimony or even getting child support, I feel that the terms of the contracts are being renegotiated because you landed a job and you're making more, so your income is stable. So I feel like there's a lot of good change around, reversals as it pertains to money, and it can be very beneficial for a lot of you. Just manage your financial resources very carefully for this month, okay? In terms of your spiritual advice, what we have here is the Hierophant. And the Hierophant basically means family, institution, things that have been around for a very, very, very long time. It's a situation where there's a lot of rigidity. There's a lot of like structure, hierarchy, as well as, you know, like, there's lack of creative thinking. So I feel that either the people who are around you or the work environment that you're in, there's a lot of this, coming through, like, you know, conforming, bandwagoning and things like that. And I feel that it's really important for you to try to break out and for you to try to chart your own territory. So don't succumb to this need to like conform or to do what everybody else is doing. Because I feel what's going to really be in your favor here is charting new territory and understanding what is appropriate for yourself so that you're not living like, you're not living based on other people's standards, based on other people's, ideal, and you're actually more authentic and true to yourself. I feel that a lot of you, if you are dealing with a fire sign in a family type of situation as well. So a fire sign is a Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Aries, or a Leo. This is a this can be their sun, moon, or rising. If you are financially linked up with this person, if you are in a marriage or even like in a family situation with this person, I do see a lot of extensive dealing with this person coming through for this month. I feel that, you know, you are trying to be the conservative one, and they are somebody who's brash, who's a little bit more difficult, who's a little bit more like here today, gone tomorrow. They might not be the most reliable. I do feel there is a coming together between you and this person to talk about your differences. And especially if it's a family member, I do see there's massive karma coming through as well. Earth sign and fire sign. Okay, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. That is, I feel there's going to be trips taken and they're coming to see you in order to hash out some differences between, you know, freedom versus like stability. So those issues are coming through. The Prince of Wands usually indicates to me travel. And this is, you know, traveling long distance for a job, traveling, taking a risk with a new job opportunity. Like I mentioned, investment opportunities, stocks, and, you know, risking it big risky endeavors, especially on the finance front, is not that great for this month. But if you are traveling in order to go on interviews for a new job, it's going to be very fruitful for you. So what I'm also sensing is for a lot of you, I get this vibe, and this is not going to apply for all, but I feel that a lot of you might have lived in an environment that was very closed off. So you might have lived in like a smaller area, a smaller town. And I feel that you might have like gone off like to do a lot of travel, and now you're coming back home to the place where you grew up. And I feel that you are outgrowing a lot of the people that you used to you used to jive really well with. So I do feel that, you know, your philosophical outlook is expanding. Your financial situation is also expanding for the better. So there's a lot of like forward looking, you know, progressive energy about you. And I do sense that people in your environment are kind of, have been keeping you down. So I do feel it is really important to, you know, once again, release, cut ties, seek new opportunities. And especially if it comes to like on the work front, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to break away and to have the financial backing in order to expand your geographical location, move houses, move jobs, move into a new area. Okay. And as well, seek more like-minded people. Okay. I'm actually going to pull out another card here with the Hierophant and see what's going on. Okay, so we have the Four of Swords in the reverse position. This is a card about like staying at home, maintaining the status quo, not wanting to disrupt the status quo or disrupt equilibrium or disrupt some type of situation that might not have been comfortable, but at least it was stable. When it's in the reverse position, it's basically challenging authority. It's basically fighting for people who have been dealt the short end of the stick. I feel like a lot of you are, this can be good or bad, but a lot of you are taking on a very, very courageous air for this month, and you are fighting for people who don't really have a voice, who can't really speak up for themselves, and you are fighting for some type of injustice as well. and be very careful of that martyrdom complex. Okay, it comes in for a lot of Piscean people that I've read for. So you need to take care of yourself before you can take care of other people. And there is a way to do this where you might not need to like overturn authority hierarchy in order to get your point across, or in order to achieve some type of goal. You can help people from the ground up. Just be very methodical and systematic about how you're going about this, because this energy, as your energy, is a little bit rash. It's a little bit I guess like abrasive. It can rub people the wrong way. Okay, so the Knight of Wands, or the fastest moving knight in the deck, well, actually it's the Knight of Swords, so this is a little bit slower, but I feel that it's all fire. It's all like moral high ground. It's all like, it's an energy that is very like it's disruptive, and it's not as well thought out as you would hope. Okay, so this is a situation where impulse control is going to be very vital for you for this month. And so I feel a lot of you are charging into a situation where you feel like you yourself or other people have been treated wrongly, and you are trying to fix the situation, and you're trying to do it in a way where I feel like your heart's in the right place, but you want to be a little bit careful and a little bit methodical. So if you are leaving a work environment where you feel like it's no longer working, people are being exploited, or I feel like they're being exploitative, you're going to shift into a new job, and the new job is going to be very phenomenally good for a lot of you. Okay.